Hello, I'm Benson and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you a set of CCTV cameras and doorbells. This is not a sponsor video. Unlike the normal one that I get stuff free from Amazon, this is actually my own money. The reason why I need a new set of CCTV is because my current set of CCTV has been around for 5 years now, and it's the Arlo series, and I've done a few videos on that already. And recently it stopped working. So I'm not sure how many users out there with Arlo having the same problem, but since I'm not a paid user, for example, I didn't pay for the online cloud storage. The base station records, but I couldn't view any of my footage. Now, it happens a few times within the last 5 years. Every time there's an update, they mess things up. And then very quickly another update come and then everything is working again. But I'm kind of sick and tired of them, updating and it's not working. So I thought, what an opportunity to step up. There's many ways you can look at this video. Some people will think it's an upgrade, some people will think it's a downgrade. But for me, at the end of the day, as long as it works and it works for me, that is what I want. It's going to be integrated with AI eventually. So I'm going to have AI looking at the snapshot and give me a lowdown of what's going on in front of my camera. But that is another video to come. If you haven't seen it already, I also have a video on Home Assist, which is basically integrating everything around the home, including CCTV, as part of my whole entire system. I'm going to speak very fast in this video because I do want to go through a lot of the stuff with you guys. If you find my information useful, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel to help me grow. So first, let's start with the problem. So I have on my phone right here, and this is the Arlo software. So let's say I want to review my footage. I click connect. It takes some time to connect it. So let's say I got multiple cameras here and they all been working fine. You can view the footage. For example, if I click on the live feed, it takes some time, but it does get into the live feed, which is fine. I can talk to the person on the other end and all that. But when you try to review the footage, there's nothing recorded. And this is my base station. And storage setting, I do have footage on there back on the 12th of March. So that is a couple of months ago. And when you try to download the footage, not available. I'm pretty sure everything will be okay if I have subscribed to the cloud storage, but that's not the point. The whole point of base station is that so you can record it on your own devices. But anyway, that's enough of a rant. So I have been a happy customer with Arlo for the last 5 years, but finally I'm going to switch. And the brand I'm switching to is called Reolink. Now this is one of the company who kind of first step up to the challenge. So they will be working with Home Assist integration, so it should work flawlessly. Let's have a look and see what your money can buy. Now, I don't know which is which because I bought two things from AliExpress. You can get it from Amazon, like my usual go-to place. But since this is shipping from a local warehouse, so it's come quite quickly, and I want to have my CCTV up and running quickly, so I bought it from AliExpress this time. I will put the link in the description, so if you do want to buy it, I do get a bit of affiliated money, so maybe a cup of coffee. So first up, we have the Reolink Doorbell. And this is PoE. What it means is power over Ethernet. So you do have to wire this in, unlike the Arlo wireless. In the home network, when you have good Wi-Fi signal, wireless is way easy to install. But if you have a bit of knowledge about Ethernet cable, which is basically this kind of cable for your computer, they can carry power to your camera, and that kind of connection is way more secure and way faster. And you don't need to have a separate power adapter attached to the camera. Inside the box, you got your instruction booklet. You got a chime. This is a 3-pin plug because I bought the UK version, so this goes into your wall socket. And then you got your doorbell. And it's not very big in terms of a doorbell size because you don't need a battery, so the size is a lot smaller. Ethernet cable go into the back here, that's why you got a void here. You have a microSD card. Now that is very important because you don't need an NVR with this. You can, but you don't have to. So all the footage can be recorded on the SD card. At the back of the box, you got some accessories. So this is kind of a mounting screws and the pin for taking out your device once it's mounted. You got power supply. If you do want to power this, you can by external. Got Ethernet cable, and you got some brackets. So this is a corner bracket, so it helps to tilt the camera a little bit. Metal plates for the back, and that's it. I'm going to open the other camera, and then I will show you guys in detail of the product. And the doorbell, I got it from AliExpress. I bought it for £58.75. That includes shipping and delivery. On Amazon is a bit more, but when you buy it from Amazon, you do get the guarantee, so anything wrong, you can send it back. With AliExpress, there is, but you have to send it back differently. I do find Amazon better in terms of returns. Okay, this is the RLC 528. This is 5 megapixel. CCTV camera, again, power over Ethernet, so you do need a wire attached to this. But the good thing is you never run out of battery. Again, you got your information booklet on the top, Ethernet cable, a bit short one. Okay, in here you got your camera, you got a metal base, metal body, so this is designed to be used indoor and outdoor. One lens in the front. Yeah, so you got your Ethernet connection, power cable, and a reset button, I believe. Let's have a look. What's the third one here? And they all have waterproof gasket. Yeah, so reset button. What else in the box? You got a connector to seal off the connection with the Ethernet cable. Got some mounting screws and drying agent. So this is your doorbell. Once it's mounted on the door, press button in the front, camera on the top right here, and on the back, you got a void for your connection, so you got Ethernet cable going in there, SD card going in there. In the trim, you got a volume button, melody select, menu button. This one here, I pay £32.65 on AliExpress. It will be a lot more on Amazon. So you can rotate the base, and you can go up and down. So once you mount it on the wall, you should be able to cover all types of angle. And it tells you that this way up, I guess. So to power the two devices, you do need to have a network switch, which is capable of delivering the PoE or the power over Ethernet. So this one here, I don't even know what brand this is. I just pick out the kind of a cheap one. See, so this is from a Goalake store on Amazon. Now the reason why I bought this from Amazon is because it's about the same price. So this one I pay £18.99, and you can have all kind of size switch. So this one have 4 outlets, 1 inlet. So you connect this to your router, and then connect power to it, and then it delivers internet and power to your CCTV devices. And this one here is a 5-port switch, 100 mega bit per second, and this is a 52 watt for all PoE ports, AI extended to 250 meters, ideal for IP surveillance, access points and all that. And this one is £18.99. You can get one with more ports, but I thought I only need maximum of 4 devices, so that's why I got this one. Anyway, I think on AliExpress is around the same price, not much cheaper, so I got it from Amazon for easy return if it doesn't work. So instruction booklet, you got your 3-pin plug for UK sockets, and to be fair, this one is no different from your Ethernet switch. Just that it can provide power to your devices as well. Now the run from my router to the switch is going to be around 40 meters. So I shouldn't need to reduce the speed by AI. It has something called AI switch right here. So if you turn on the AI switch, it will reduce the speed but allow you to have a longer run of wire up to 250 meters. So I guess if you need to run this to another house, then yeah, you might need to use that function. Even if you reduce the speed, I don't know if it will I don't think it will affect your footage that much because most of these are not 4K cameras. But at the same time, that is an option. And in terms of switch, it comes like that. So if I give you a bit of a close-up, so you got 4 ports. So those are the one you connected to your camera. You got one which is for your internet. So internet in and then power and internet out. Here is a little switch between AI and non-AI. I'm just going to leave it off. At the back is where you put in the cable for power. I hope this one doesn't blow up because I've never seen a switch so cheap before. So now is the fun part. Let's connect them and see what it can and what it can't do. So first we need to give it power. Okay, so power light is on. It's just waiting for our LAN connection. So here I got my internet from my router. So that go into the LAN port and that's it. That should... Now there is internet, there is power, so this is ready to work. Let's start with this CCTV here. So you open the LAN port by unscrewing the weatherproof cap. The included Ethernet cable, I'm not going to use this cable because my mounting location may be different, but so is yours. But for demonstration, I'm going to plug this in and these sides go into one of these ports. It shouldn't matter which port you plug into, but so in the instruction booklet, there's a QR code that you need to download the app to set up the camera. You also got some stickers to show people that you have CCTV installed. I think in some of the country you do have to display this, or else, like, you know, it's illegal, but it also acts as a deterrent. So let me scan the QR code and download the app. I don't think I have the app yet. So follow the usual installation process. I found this on Apple Store. I'm going to put open, agree. It's already searched for a device, but it say uninitialized. Create device password. So that's it. Within minutes I got it up and running. Now the SD card slot is actually hidden behind this metal thing here. You need to open them, put your SD card in, which I'm going to do later. And this one is going to be mounted kind of on the, I guess what you call them, door frame. So I need to find a way to make sure that it points down and in the right direction. So I let you guys be the judge of how good or how bad the video is in real time later. Now is the doorbell. Now with the app installed, it should be just as simple as plugging in the device. So again, let's use the cable which comes with it. So at the back of the doorbell, all you need to do is plug in the Ethernet cable. Wow, now so that goes in. The other side go into your router switch. This one here goes into your socket. I do have a socket here. I don't know if you can see it. Move the boxes away. This cable. Yeah, I do have a socket on my table bench here, so I'm going to plug that in. Now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open the Reolink app. Let's go back. Plus button. Allowed. I need to scan the QR code. So again, straight away on my device. And then the next step, they ask you to put the chime in the socket, which I've done already. Press the doorbell button. So allow push notification so that you get alerts on your phone. And that's it. That should be it. So now I got my doorbell running and it's on low resolution, I guess, to save bandwidth. So I'm going to turn it to clear, which is high. Now, I do think this one gives you a lot better quality video. Again, I'm going to put it side by side on the screen. Hopefully you guys can see how well or how bad the CCTV camera is, but so far so good. This is really clear. And it's kind of a fish eye, so you can actually see a lot more, which is always needed for a doorbell because you want to see what they're holding in the hands or the feet. In fact, sometimes I tilt my doorbell more towards the bottom because you don't want to see the sky. You want to see what they're holding and what they left behind on the doorstep. So let's test out a few functions of the doorbell. So tap to talk. Hello 1 2 3. So apart from tap to talk, you can also do quick reply.
Hi, please leave the package at the door. We'll get it later. Hi, we'll be right there. Please wait a moment.
I'm sorry. I think you've knocked on the wrong door.
Hi there, I'm a bit tied up right now. Feel free to leave a message.
I think I'll use the first one the most.
Hi, please leave the package at the door. We'll get it later.
Now, the few times I reviewed CCTV doorbell camera before, I thought this kind of function is a bit useless. But over the last few years, I find that actually is quite useful because you might not want the person on the other side of the door to know that is a female at home or young kids at home. But with this kind of a computer voice, actually you avoid that having that kind of a problem. So that is actually something quite useful. So before I'm going to install them at the location, I need to put some SD card or micro SD card into that so you can record. I never pay for subscription, I'm just tight. So for the CCTV camera, you do have to tilt it all the way down to expose the micro SD card slot, and you need a very tiny crosshead screwdriver to open the weather sealed. This camera will not be under any kind of a direct rain, but it's nice to see that they have a proper sealed built in. But my tip is always do all the setting and installation of SD card before you mount it on your ceiling or your wall. It's just common sense, I guess. And for the doorbell, it's slightly easier because it's just at the back. Once you mount it, then you won't have access to it. So always make sure it's all functioning, working before you install onto your door and drill holes. They also have cloud storage if you want to, but like I say, I'm not going to do cloud. Internet of all things, I'm going to go with camera. Now let's set up the recording. So this is my CCTV camera. I'm going to turn the volume right down and then go to settings. So I'm going to setting. You got display. can flip it. You can have can change the frame rate. You can actually change the resolution on there. At the moment is 2560 by 1920. Yeah, so you can have black and white, color, or auto. I leave it on auto at the moment. Once I get a chance to play with it, I will play with it a bit more. Camera name, where do you want the camera name to be displayed? You can hide it if you want to. If you have multiple cameras, then this might be a good option, especially if they all look the same, like in the garden. So you can set up different zone for detection of motion. Motion mark is a beta. I don't know what that is. Sensitivity, I guess you don't want to have too much false alarm. Alarm delay, object size. So you can have like, small and large objects. So we'll play around with that later. Push notification, you need to turn that on if you want alert on your phone. And then camera recording. So camera recording is on. Alarm recording, so motion recording schedule is on. Post recording duration, so 15 seconds until the event end. Continue recording schedule. There's quite a lot of things that you can play around with. Here's smart detection, so you can detect person, vehicle, animal, and each of them you can adjust sensitivity. Now because it's a non-formatted SD card, so you asked me to format it. Format. Now I didn't find this function in the normal setting menu. So what I did is I go into view footage, and then when it sends that the SD card is not working, then it asks me to format it. Override older record, so even though it's a 64 gig memory, eventually it will be full, and then it will override it. I'm going to do the same to the doorbell to set up the recording. So I know it looks a bit of a mess on my table right now, but now is the time to get it installed. Now, because this is my home security, I don't want to give it away too much, but I will show you the end product in terms of like the footage quality. And I hope you guys can see what your money can buy. So I have been running the Reolink cameras for a few days now. At the moment I have 3 cameras. So one of them is the doorbell, the PoE wired version. And then I got the Reolink RLC 520A. So this is one of the cheapest CCTV in the range. And then I have the RLC 51A. And this is another camera that I mounted in my home, and they all working fantastically well. I don't have the Wi-Fi problem anymore. This is now decommissioned. It's still connected to my system at the moment, so I'm still getting alerts and messages from them. But they are so unreliable that I need to rip them out. When there's so much Wi-Fi interference, it keeps getting signal jammed. I keep missing important doorbell. I mean, you can't have a doorbell which just doesn't ring. Home Assistant now can natively support all the Reolink cameras. So without having the Reolink NVR system, and I actually have like a multi-camera system set up here. I still have a few Arlo camera which is in my garden. I'm going to keep them because they are not critical. For my doorbell and my front porch, definitely now move on to the Reolink, and I'm really happy with them. Now, first of all, the native function for the Reolink camera is already fantastic. If you don't use Home Assistant, it's okay. The app is already fantastic. The reason why I think they are fantastic is because after a day or two of fine-tuning, I have 0 false alarm. And that is a record for my CCTV experience. So first of all, you have your non-detection zone, so you can actually draw out area that you don't want your false alarm. But I find that I actually don't really need that. Sensitivity is the main one that I use to fine-tune it. I set my sensitivity to low, 8. That means that it will only detect up to a really, really short range. And that is because my doorbell has a view of the whole street. And that's not all. So if you go into detection alarm setting, further into the function, you got sensitivity and you got motion detection low, and the second one is smart detection. So because my driver is looking in my 2 cars and onto the main road, and the main road is so far away, I don't really need vehicle detection, so I set it all the way down to low at 7. Pets, I leave it at the middle because I do have foxes and stuff like that running around, and I do like to see them from time to time. And then for person, I set it to low 18. And what this means is that now my doorbell will only detect people actually up front to the door. Compared to the Arlo experience, I mean, this one here, you can only set the sensitivity to either high or low, but it doesn't kind of differentiate between motion of people, leaves, or anything. So even if the weather changes, if the cloud pass over, it changes the scenes and then it gives you an alarm. So, and then if you set it too low, it doesn't detect anything at all. Once upon a time, it was fantastic, state of the art, but in 2025, no. So I find the same function for the Reolink across the different cameras, and they're not that expensive in comparison to other branded CCTV. So, and if you are into your home assistant, and this is another fantastic news story. So as you can see, I got my Surface Pro here. This is just one of my tablet device in my home. I thought I want to show you on this small screen instead of my telly, because my telly have serious sync issue. I do need to upgrade my TV here. This is a old second-hand TV, which doesn't really synchronize well with my Pocket 3. But you can see that it's a web-based interface, so doesn't matter what device, maybe a mini computer, maybe a tablet, and even your phone, it will all have the same kind of a dashboard. Now those are live feed. Well, actually everything is live feed, so I can track all my iPhone devices on the map. I can see my solar power into my battery. At the moment, the battery is going to my house, weather, and I got two cards here. One is my front doorbell and one is the front porch. Oh, and that is actually my wife leaving. You can see the timestamp, and it's actually real time. So effectively, you have your own little NVR station. Like I said before, I do have my Arlo cameras in my garden, and they are real time only if you click on them. For some reason, the integration with Arlo is a bit different. So this is a snapshot when they have an alert, and the snapshot stay on the screen. So yeah, I'm not sure why, but anyway, I'm switching over to Reolink, and that's the end of the story. Now, one of the drawbacks with any kind of a wireless doorbell is that you only have one chime. And I managed to get Arlo to integrate with my Alexa. And this is one of the big selling points for me when I install my doorbell. And that's why I kept it for like almost 3 or 4 years. With the Reolink, it actually works the same. So what I'm going to show you now is a routine that you can set up with Alexa. I think you can do the same with Google. It's just my ecosystem is around Alexa. So once you integrated your CCTV camera with Alexa skill, and you can set up a routine to ask the camera to do a lot of stuff. Just the doorbell. Some of these camera doesn't have that function. So for example, my doorbell, if someone press my doorbell right now, I have set it up to make a notification with the Alexa system. So for example, if someone press the doorbell.
Someone press the doorbell. Please share, like, and subscribe to my channel.
So this is a custom command. So, you can add it. You can edit it to ask it to do a lot of things. So, once you get your automation and your device on the list, there is a lot of different possibility. For example, here, I have set volume to 8. So whenever someone presses the alarm bell, it will set my speaker here to a higher volume and then say something that I typed out. So this is a custom message. And then when that message is finished, it will set the volume back down to 3, which is my normal music volume. And you can choose which Alexa device to play it from. So you might want to do a multiple routine for multiple devices, because it doesn't allow me to choose just like all the devices at once. But that doesn't really matter because there is a workaround. But it's working beautifully. So doing something, then my phone will have the announcement. If I'm in the house, my kitchen have a echo. If I'm working on my editing platform, I have one on my desk in front of me. So that is actually fantastic. Now I was saying that only the doorbell have that kind of a sensor which will trigger the Alexa skill. The camera doesn't have that function at the moment, but because I got Home Assist, I actually done that through Home Assistant. So this is something that I have learned the other day, and I have set it up on my system already. So under Home Assist, I keep calling Home Assist, but under Home Assistant, you can go into your setting, and then you can go into Automation and Scenes. I have set up a new function here. So entrance motion. So my front porch Reolink camera, when it detects movement, and then the Reolink will play chime on the Reolink chime. So basically I have linked the Reolink camera to the doorbell chime. So now when someone goes through the entrance, it will ring a kind of a doorbell. Does it make sense? Hopefully I'm making sense. But you can do a lot of things. For example, you can set conditions. For example, the condition could be a time, a schedule. For example, only happen during the day that you want the alerts. You don't want it at nighttime when people are just walking past to get a drink from the kitchen, for example. But the possibility out there is crazy, because if you have smart plug with a light or a fan, or you can actually look at the camera and press a button to actually change anything that's happening in your house. And this is not even running on FreeGate, but any other add-on software. For example, FreeGate will be another software on top of Home Assist, then which is just to deal with all the feed, and you can have that recorded on a separate location. I personally don't like a NVR, which is everything centralized. I actually prefer each camera records onto their own device. In terms of the streaming quality, I choose Fluent, which is the lower quality when on the streaming platform on the screen, because on a tablet or even on the telly, you can't really tell the difference between a 2K, 4K feed or a 1080p or even 720p. For me, if I want to watch it in high definition, or if I want to download it in high definition, I can also use my PC or use my phone. When you go into the Reolink app, not the Home Assistant, when you go into the Reolink app, when you click on the CCTV, you can actually choose clear, fluent, or balanced. This is just how much data they want to stream through the internet to your device. Now, if you do a clear, that should be the highest resolution available for your camera. So that's all I have time for you today. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to my channel if you find my information useful. If there is any question, put in the comment section. I'm more than happy to answer to the best that I can. Thank you very much for watching. Can't wait to see you next time with more interesting gadgets. Bye-bye.
He's got a knack. DIY runs in his veins, there's no turning back. 2 kids by his side, a family so tight, a loving wife who's his beacon of light in a world so